Hello, everyone. Welcome to the News Browse News broadcast. According to, it's Ted Lee News, it's Nanger. U.S. President Donald Trump announced on July 8th that the United States had launched additional retaliatory airstrikes against Iran. The action was taken in response to recent Iranian attacks on 3 vessels navigating the Strait of Hormuz. President Trump warned that the U.S. response would be disproportionately heavy, stating, "We carried out a heavy attack on them. If they attack, we will strike back 20 times harder." According to U.S. media, the strikes included hits on 2 railway bridges in northern Iran, marking the first infrastructure targets struck since the April ceasefire agreement. Iranian media reported that the U.S. bombardment targeted port cities such as Bandar Abbas, causing power outages. In retaliation, the Iranian military launched strikes on July 9th against U.S. military bases in Bahrain and Kuwait. President Trump also mentioned receiving a phone call from Iranian officials seeking a deal, though he questioned whether they are worth negotiating with. The situation in the region remains highly tense as both sides continue to exchange retaliatory strikes. According to a report by Leon Hazeobal, Iran's Islamic Consultative Assembly Speaker Mohammad Bagher Ghalibaf declared on Thursday that the strategic Strait of Hormuz will only reopen under arrangement rather than in response to U.S. threats. Ghalibaf, who also serves as Iran's chief negotiator, warned via social media that the United States has yet to realize that bullying and betrayal are no longer cost-free. He directly addressed the U.S., stating, "Let me make it clear. If you attack, you will face counterattack." This statement follows U.S. President Donald Trump's orders on Wednesday for a new round of military strikes against Iran. Trump issued a stern warning that Tehran would face even more severe consequences if it continued to target commercial vessels in the Strait of Hormuz, though he expressed hope for a swift end to the military escalation to allow room for diplomatic negotiations. According to a report by the Asahi Shimbun, at least 4 oil and gas tankers have turned back from attempting to transit the Strait of Hormuz. The diversions occurred after a Qatari liquefied natural gas (LNG) tanker and a Saudi-flagged crude oil tanker were damaged in the critical waterway, following reports of missile attacks. Consequently, maritime authorities have elevated the security threat level for vessels transiting the strait to severe. Ship tracking data from Caller and LSEG revealed that 3 empty Qatari LNG tankers, Al Gharia, Duhail, and Al Ruwais, altered their courses on Tuesday, while the Indian-flagged crude carrier Lila Vadinar made a U-turn on Wednesday. Due to the escalating tensions, a queue of empty vessels waiting to load has formed offshore, with some turning off their automatic tracking signals. While some crude tankers have successfully transited and exited the strait, shipping operations in the region face significant disruptions, and an Indian refiner has reportedly canceled a vessel charter. According to a report by Thai Sounds, the U.S. Federal Reserve's newly released meeting minutes from June reveal deep-seated concerns among policymakers regarding persistent high inflation. Under the leadership of the newly appointed chairman, Kevin Warsh, the Federal Reserve is facing growing division, with the possibility of a rate hike in September becoming more likely. During the June 16-17 meeting, a few officials argued that conditions for a rate hike had already been met, though the committee ultimately agreed to keep rates unchanged. Notably, the minutes showed that decision-makers are increasingly worried about price pressures broadening across sectors like transport, aviation, and agriculture. For the first time, officials also highlighted the artificial intelligence (AI) investment boom as a potential driver of inflation. Under Chairman Warsh, the minutes were streamlined by approximately 20%, indicating a consolidation of views into two main camps, one believing inflation will decline naturally and the other advocating for rate hikes to curb it. While markets reacted quietly to the release, futures pricing continues to suggest a significant chance of a rate hike at the FOMC's September meeting. According to a report by the Liberty Times, Ghalibaf, a devastating series of earthquakes struck Venezuela on June 24th, resulting in a climbing death toll of 3,811, Konvidichik 90 loves, death 100 fits. At Bagher, then Bello too would regularize has made a public appeal to the international community, urging the immediate lifting of economic sanctions to facilitate disaster relief and reconstruction efforts. Rodriguez highlighted that Venezuela has frozen financial assets scattered across the globe that could be vital for rebuilding infrastructure, as well as funding essential employment and education programs. Additionally, she has written to King Charles III to request the release of approximately 31 tons of Venezuelan gold currently frozen in the Bank of England. While the United States, European Union, and other nations have enforced strict sanctions on Venezuela for decades due to democratic backsliding, the U.S. has recently approved a temporary 4-month waiver to permit transactions directly related to earthquake humanitarian aid. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.